So hi, welcome to my channel. Um, this is my first time trying to read a book in a video, and I'm mostly a silent reader, and reading out loud is a, seems a bit different to me, a bit awkward too, I would say, but certainly not. I'm not used to it. So today I'll be reading Ikigai and the introduction of Ikigai. So basically, Ikigai is the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. And this is an international national bestseller. I had been getting too many suggestions on the internet for this book, and I must say that I'm truly intrigued because I'm mostly a fiction person, and this being a non-fiction one to grab my interest is a bit different, I would say. So, without any further ado, let's jump into it. So, I'm definitely not gonna give it to anyone else because I'm a bit possessive about books. And yes, the paper is so. I've been reading ebooks for a long time now, and having a paperback under my fingers, the paper feels so good, and the feeling of nostalgia hits me so hard. This so the starting itself is a Japanese proverb, and it is only staying active will make you want to live 100 years. And I would say it is definitely true because I've experienced it. Once I start cleaning my room, I keep on cleaning it. Whereas if I keep silent and look at all the things piling up, I will just leave it alone. But rather, if I start doing something, I'll keep wanting to keep it clean as it is. Or if it is dirty and piled up, all messy, it will always remain messy. Like Newton's third law, everything. I mean, oh my god, I forgot. Like Newton's third law, a thing remains at rest until otherwise an external force acts on it. I think that's right. I'm a literature student, and please don't mind my mistake in that science law. That's a disclaimer, by the way. So we'll start. We have like 9 chapters with an epilogue. So I was thinking we'll start with the prologue today because prologue has too many things that we would want to process, and that is very interesting to read too, and I wouldn't want the video to go too long at it. So I think it's pretty clear on the camera, and this is certainly a natural lighting, and I'm sitting by my window at my study desk, and this is absolutely natural lighting, and it brings out the mood to read too. It's it it was raining a bit yesterday, I think, and it's a bit chill too in the summer, a respite. And I feel like very inclined to have a have a book in my hands with a cup of coffee. Since I think it's only 10:30 a.m. I don't think this is time for coffee, so I'll get to that a bit later at 11:30 or so. So let us start without me blabbering on and on. So prologue, Ikigai, a mysterious word. This book first came into being on a rainy night in Tokyo, when its authors sat down together for the first time in one of the city's tiny bars. We had read each other's work but had never met, thanks to the thousands of miles that separate Barcelona from the capital of Japan. Then a mutual acquaintance put us in touch, launching a friendship that led to this project and seems destined to last a lifeline. The next time we got together, a year later, we strolled through a park in downtown Tokyo and ended up talking about trends in Western psychology, specifically logotherapy, which helps people find their purpose in life. We remarked that Viktor Frankl's logotherapy had gone out of fashion among practicing therapists who favored other schools of psychology, though people still search for meaning in what they do and how they live. We ask ourselves things like, what is the meaning of life? Is it the point just to live longer? Or should I seek a higher purpose? Why do some people know what they want and have a passion for life, while others languish in confusion? At some point in our conversation, the mysterious word Ikigai came up. This Japanese concept, which translates roughly as the happiness of always being busy. I think that is absolutely true. As soon as I was having my exams, I felt a bit occupied and not much lethargic or lazy. I felt a bit occupied and a bit active. But as soon as my exams got over a few weeks, 2 weeks before, I feel so lacking. I feel so lazy. I feel like I don't have any work to do, and that's what led me to take up this YouTubing, videoing. Basically, I'm a amateur photographer, obviously, and I do blogging, Insta blogging, and write WordPress blogging and all such. But this seemed a bit interesting, and I think the null of not having anything to do has made me want to take up YouTubing. And this also seems a bit interesting. Trying to read out loud, trying to decode the book in front of others, whilst mostly I do it in my own mind or in my own space. This feels nice, sort of nice, and the happiness of always being busy. You'd always get it. Like, we will always feel like wanting a vacation, and as soon as we get a vacation, we'll feel like the vacation is, I feel so bored in vacation, I want to go back to work. And I think that's how this quarantine is working too. We all wanted a long break for 6 months once, but while we have this quarantine, we feel so bored to death, and that's what it is. Absolutely, so suits our situation right now. It's like a logotherapy, but it goes a step beyond. It also seems to be one of explaining the extraordinary longevity of the Japanese, especially on the island of Okinawa, where there are 24.55 people over the age of 100 for every 100,000 inhabitants, far more than the global average. Those who study why the inhabitants of this island in the south of Japan live longer than people anywhere else in the world believe that one of the keys, in addition to a healthy diet, a simple life in the outdoors, green tea, and subtropical climate, is average temperatures like that of Hawaii. In India, we have only one season, summer, summer, and summer. So I think we are in subtropical climate, or is it totally tropical? I'm not sure. I'm not a geographical person. I think I should know something about that. I'll read about it. Subtropical climate is the ikigai that shapes their lives. While researching this concept, we discovered that not a single book in the fields of psychology or personal development is dedicated to bringing this philosophy to the West. Is Ikigai the reason there are more centenarians in Okinawa than anywhere else? How does it inspire people to stay active until the very end? What is the secret to a long and happy life? As we explored the matter further, we discovered that one place in particular, Ogimi, a rural town on the northeast of the island with a population of 3,000, boasts the highest life expectancy in the world. A fact that has earned it the nickname the village of longevity. Okinawa is where most of Japan's shikuwaza, a lime-like fruit that packs an extraordinary antioxidant punch, comes from. Could that be Ogimi's secret to a long life? Or is it the purity of the water used to brew its moringa tea? We decided to go study the secrets of the Japanese centenarians in person. After a year of preliminary research, we arrived in the village, where residents speak an ancient dialect and practice an animist religion that features long haired forest sprites called Bonagaya. Pardon my pronunciation of words from other languages. I'm very bad at that. With our cameras and recording devices in hand. As soon as we arrived, we could sense the incredible friendliness of its residents, who laughed and joked incessantly amid lush green hills fed by crystalline waters. That feels magical. Who laughed and joked incessantly amid lush green hills fed by crystalline waters. I would certainly love to live at a place like that. Though the place I live, you could hear birds chirping and the wind, the breeze blowing continuously. I think I'm more of a hill station person. I would just love to walk through those trees, tree lined roads, lakes, blue, like crystalline blue, like mirror like lakes. I think I've only seen them in movies, in songs, yeah. In songs, in movies, in pictures, but not directly. The ones I've seen in person are mostly seas, and that is bit not so much normal Marina Beach in Chennai and such, and few lakes in like Elagiri in that areas, but not much into the deeper ones that it's just like ones like it was described in the book. But yeah, after this quarantine out, most people would surely try to visit places which they would have never thought before, because being locked down in a house is very difficult, I can understand. So as we conducted our interviews with the eldest residents of the town, we realized that something far more powerful than just these natural resources was at work. An uncommon joy flows from its inhabitants and guides them through the long and pleasurable journey of their lives. Again, the mysterious Ikigai. But what is it exactly? How do you get it? It never ceased to surprise us that this haven of nearly external life was located precisely in Okinawa, where 200,000 innocent lives we lost at the end of World War II. Rather than harbor animosity towards outsiders, however, Okinawans live by the principle of chod, Ichariba chod, a local expression that means treat everyone like a brother, even if you have never met them before. That's such a nice concept. Even treating strangers with love and affection. That It's a great idea, and it's good for us too. We would learn how to appreciate others, appreciate um, a friendship, appreciate connections, and such. We will learn to appreciate human connections, certainly. That's what treat everyone like a brother. It turns out that one of the secrets to happiness for Ogami's residents is feeling like part of a community. From an early age, they practice yuimaru or teamwork, and so are used to helping one another. Nurturing friendships, eating light, getting through enough rest, and doing regular moderate exercise are all part of the equation of good health. But at the heart of the joy de vivre that inspires the centenarians to keep celebrating birthdays and cherishing each new day is their Ikigai. The purpose of this book is to bring the secret of Japan's centenarians to you and give you the tools to find your own Ikigai. Because those who discover their Ikigai have everything they need for a long and joyful journey through life. Happy travels. And by that line, we come to the end of this prologue. Mm, and it's only been 5 pages, yet I feel like I learned something interesting. These lines like treat everyone like a brother even if you have never met them before is what I would always wanted to do, but I couldn't. I will certainly try to be even more human friendly. I'm a bit of an introvert, obviously. So, Ikigai, meaning of Ikigai, the happiness of always being busy. I have marked it, of course, with pencil. Yeah, that's what those two lines just hit me hard. And I love those. I will certainly keep them in mind and do things. And let me mark it. So, next will be the chapter 1, the art of staying young while growing old. And we will come back to it in the next video. So, have a happy day.